This is the show talking about what you want to know, what you need to know, and part of Woof Boom Radio's mission to use our voice to build our community. The all-new Delaware County Today, presented by Muncie Community Schools. Now on WMUN, the Talk of Muncie. Here's your host, Director of News Operations and lead morning anchor, Steve Lindell.
Thank you, Tom Campbell from Studio B, the video room. In Muncie, Indiana, USA, people are talking about another local business upgrade. 8:30 this morning, first word on that. Tax tips later. Please don't tune away. We're trying to help. And our first plan for high school boys basketball tournament. Kurt Darling releasing that information, and we will release it to you as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. BSU men tonight on the WMUN. Tomorrow, the Ball State women's basketball team live, presented by Pride Mark Construction. Now let's get to our first element that we do every day because the weather impacts every one of us. We have a meteorologist for that. His name is Paul Poteet.
Good morning. We're making some progress today. At least the high temperatures will get out of the 20s and should get into the upper 30s to around 40. And we'll stay above freezing for tonight, low of 32. Today starts off with a calm wind, but it will be breezy again this afternoon, gusts up to 35 miles an hour. It's a dry day today. Tonight, there might be a couple of spotty rain or snow showers. Doesn't look like a big deal. And then for tomorrow, some sunshine, all the way to 45. One other chance of a few snow showers, mainly on Wednesday night, with a low of 28. So watch maybe for a slippery spot Thursday morning. And then we're back to dry weather, 42. And best days will be Friday and Saturday, into the low to mid 50s. Rain chances will return and snow chances. Saturday night into Sunday, another blast of cooler air for the weekend, just like this past weekend. 30s Sunday and cold Monday, and then recovering next Tuesday. There's your WMUN Muncie weather. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you very much. That's Paul Poteet. Hourly updates on WMUN and the rest of our Woof Boom Radio Group stations, because weather happens all the time, too. There's no doubt about it. News happens a lot as well. We have news on all 6 of our formats in East Central Indiana because we use our voice to build and connect our community. We give you the local news summary right now here on WMUN. Last week, I asked Indiana State Rep Democrat Sue Arrington why the state legislature would want to shorten the amount of days for early voting, and she said she didn't know and I should ask a Republican. So I did. Representative J.D. Prescott.
It is costly for counties to implement the elections and keep these extended early voting days. So this is really just to shorten that window, get us to a reasonable time frame, make sure there's still plenty of time for people to come and vote early.
He says Indiana has one of the longer early voting periods.
There are some, like Kentucky, as low as only 3 days of early voting.
Those opposed to shortening say it limits people's ability to vote. An investigation into Indiana's rental market reveals a statewide collapse of housing safety.
From black mold to structural decay, thousands of Hoosiers are reporting third-world conditions in properties that were marketed as safe, modern homes. But the crisis isn't just in the walls, it's in the books. With $30 million missing from the Indianapolis Housing Agency and out-of-state landlords facing major lawsuits for neglect, the scale of this failure is reaching a breaking point. Jeanette Cruz, Network Indiana.
Muncie Central's second annual 5K Fun Run Walk for Riley will be March 14th at 9 a.m. at the high school track. The event, organized by the Muncie Central Student Council, benefits Riley Hospital for Children. Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle says Tyrese Halliburton will now be gone from the team for a few weeks for something else.
He's away from the team right now. He's come down with shingles, and which is a very painful thing, and he'll likely be away from the team for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Benny Louise Hara will celebrate her 100th birthday on Monday. Star Press says the Navy veteran and former Ball State Director of Residence Hall Personnel has lived at Westminster Village Nursing Home since 2002. She retired from Ball State in 1986. Second Harvest Food Bank CEO Becca Clausen told WMUN's Delaware County Today last week a high percentage of area residents are facing food insecurity. That can mean often choosing between eating meals or paying for rent or utilities.
We have about 1 in 6 people in our region who find themselves experiencing food insecurity.
Some of Anderson's hardest hit residents will be most affected by the increases in utility rates approved by the Anderson City Council last week.
People that are already on assistance, so they may be Section 8, they may be low income and things like this. A lot of those things are factored in your costs, but they don't factor in utility costs. So for that is, so often they will, that's a direct hit.
Those the words of Anderson Christian Center Director Rob Spaulding on Oldies 101 Anderson Talk Show. It means honoring the spirit from within, the newest part of Parker Health and Rehabilitation.
The Namaste program is focused for our residents that need a lot more of the one-on-one time.
Cindy Lyons from TLC Management shares how residents benefit.
They get to recline in recliners. They're given massages. So there's a lot of sensory stimulation that goes on. It's very quiet and calm. And we've found that it really helps. It reduces a lot of stress for them.
The new memory care unit has a hard hat tour of their expansion this Thursday, 4 to 7 p.m. The Madison County Outfitters recently completed their annual fundraising event. Our Brett Busby has more on the evening and how that money will be used.
The Outfitters Gala was held in Noblesville Saturday night, the biggest fundraiser for the organization, ensuring Madison County kids have appropriate clothing. Executive Director Carrie Bale told us how the record-breaking $236,000 will be used.
Whatever clothes we don't get donated, we have to supplement.
OutfittersClothes.org for more. Brett Busby, Wolf Boom Radio News.
Quiet Riot will be this year's entertainment headliner for the Jay County Fair, July 3. Tickets for all grandstand events go on sale to the public today at jcountyfair.com. I asked Delaware County Sheriff Tony Skinner, is it here?
Fentanyl is absolutely a thing here, not just because we're a college town, but just because we're in America.
His advice:
buy it from a pharmacy. Don't trust anything. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust your friends. Hey, so-and-so gave me this. It's cool. We have pressed fentanyl pills here in Muncie and Delaware County every single day.
That from WMUN's Delaware County Today radio show last week.
New York City is now past the worst of the storm. At the height of the blizzard, snow fell 4 to 5 inches an hour. Blizzard warnings remain in effect across Rhode Island and for at least 8 counties in Massachusetts, where the National Guard is helping clear stranded vehicles. CB Cotton, Fox News.
2 men wanted for murder in Vicksburg, Mississippi were arrested in Kokomo Sunday morning.
A man named Jalen Walker was found shot to death in a car on February 11th in Vicksburg, and police believe 2 18-year-olds named Arcavian Stamps and Quentin Wilson were the ones who killed him. They say they tracked both of them to a home in Kokomo and used SWAT, drone, and negotiator teams to find both of them and arrest them. Kokomo police say no one was hurt in those arrests, and they were assisted by the Indiana State Police and the Howard County Sheriff's Department. John Herrick, Network Indiana.
Anderson has 3 new animal control vehicles, and our Brett Busby has some details.
Anderson Mayor Thomas Broderick Jr. and Police Chief Mike Lee announced that APD has received 3 new animal control vehicles. The new design makes loading safer and less stressful for animals and reduces risk of injury to officers. They also feature interior climate control. The city asked that if you're considering a pet that you consider adopting. Brett Busby, Wolf Boom, Radio News.
LaPel's Medical Arts location will close March 30th after serving the community since 1998. The Herald Bulletin says the closure part of Community Health's relocation of services to its Anderson locations. More local every day on our free wolfboomnews.com. And on Delaware County Today, it's always on the radio, not only in the morning, but through the middle chunk of the day and beyond, too, because you need to know what's happening in your town. Steve Lindell live from our Studio B location on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio and WMUN on the south side of Muncie, Indiana, USA. As you are just starting your day, let's rise and shine and get a little snapshot of your day.
It's February 24th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Tortilla Chip Day, and before you dip your chip in salsa or guacamole, the chip was invented in 10,000 BC. The word tortilla is first documented coming from Spain, meaning little cake. In 1981, Frito-Lay introduces Tostitos chips, and in 2003, tortilla with chips and salsa becomes the Texas state snack. On this day in 2019, the Roman Catholic Church Summit on Pedophilia ends, with Pope Francis promising more action and calling those guilty tools of Satan. Former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein is found guilty of rape at a criminal sexual act in 2020 in a landmark case that ignites the Me Too movement. Born on this day in 1955, Steve Jobs, who along with Steve Wozniak co-founded Apple, during his time as CEO, Apple released the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, the home of Ball State basketball play-by-play. The men tonight, the women tomorrow, as mentioned earlier, always presented by Pridemark Construction on WMUN. Another Ball State entity is coming soon. That's all I'm saying for now. Maybe I'm allowed to say it, but I don't want to assume anything. You know what happens when you assume. Breezy day today, 39, a slightly better high temperature. WMUN meteorologist Paul Poteet always says that. The other one of many things that people are talking about today includes tonight. Will you be listening or watching tonight?
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. State of the Union speeches aren't quite what they used to be. It wasn't that long ago that you only heard from the president once a year for a big speech like this, maybe a few primetime press conferences, and other than that, it was a soundbite or two in a report on network news, maybe something on the Sunday shows. These days, we see the president all the time. Presidential administrations carefully curated messages not that long ago, so the sheer volume of opportunities to hear from the president diminishes the impact of such a speech alone. Still, State of the Union is the annual televised boxing match of American politics. Everyone will score which side landed blows, who won which round, and how badly one side or the other bludgeoned their opponent. But we enter the arena on a daily basis in politics, and not just once a year. Every day is a slugfest evaluated by the public. And while it remains a big day for the annual political calendar, State of the Union may have shrunk in its impact. Today's politics feature a daily undercard bout, and the public is usually obsessed with social media, watching for TKOs. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, and we have some business talk, some expansion and updates and upgrades to talk about bottom of hour. Stand by, you want to hear all about this. We'll have that forthcoming, a lot more to come and cover. We just do it every day from 8 to 9 a.m. live here on WMUN.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2070.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PIPE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PIPE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PIPE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community Schools.
So many buttons. The voice of Tom Campbell there, and I am getting ready to welcome a guest into the studio here. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about the updates and upgrades at Albany Health and Rehabilitation Center. You maybe have driven past it a million times. I have. You know somebody that is residing there now or has been some other time. We're going to talk about the new pieces and parts coming up. Guest in our video Studio B in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, while we get settled with working towards that guest, I did want to tell you about our plans for high school boys basketball. That will be a big thing starting March 3rd already. Our sports director is Kurt Darling. He tells me that the plan, which, by the way, is a work in progress, as you full well know if you're a fan of high school athletics, in Muncie, Delaware County, and the great state of Indiana, you got to win to stay in once it's sectional time, right? So what we do is we, as always, focus on the Delaware County teams here on WMUN. We also have within the Wolf Boom Radio group our Oldies 101, WHBU, Anderson-Madison County station that focuses on teams and high schools in that geographic area. But as far as here on WMUN, our plan for now is as such. Again, from Kurt Darling, on March the 3rd, Jay County is at Yorktown. That one will be a video-only broadcast. As you may or may not know, we have the ability, and started during the COVID time when you couldn't go to ball games. We don't like remembering that, but we have to remember those times. Well, you don't have to go to the game, or we encourage you to go to the game, buy the ticket and the popcorn and the pop and so on, and cheer on your favorite teams and players. You can review the video later, too. It lives forever on the website. Kurt can tell you how to access that always, and Mark can, too. Mark Forrester, host of the Power Hour, from 4 to 5 p.m. this afternoon, live, local, and here for sports. Anyway, back to the March 3rd plan. 5:30 pregame, it says here, video only for Jay County versus Yorktown. Then the next night, March the 4th, that'll be Daleville at Westdell. I'm told that one is going to be radio only. 5:20 is the projected pregame time for that one. And that will be on 92.5 FM and 1340 AM, radio only, again, March the 4th. Now we get into the tentative and possibilities, and the reason we can't go deeper than that, it depends on which team wins, which ones advance, which ones don't and have to go home. It also has something to do with clearance things that we have responsibilities to as it relates to our Ball State coverage. As you probably know, Ball State men's and women's basketball are home on WMUN, presented by Pride Mark Construction. As I told you a little while ago, the men Cardinals play tonight. The women play tomorrow. The men need to have some things go their way in order to make the MAC tournament, and the women are a sure thing for the MAC tourney. They're kind of fighting for seeding at this point. That's the thumbnail version of what I've been told by Kurt Darling, our sports director, and Mark Forrester, our host of the Power Hour. So there's just some of the things and possibilities that could be occurring, okay? Did you get all that written down? Probably not. I can't see the screen right now. There are many, many computer screens surrounding me, some that I don't even know how to operate. One of those screens gets to tell me who's listening on Alexa devices worldwide. I bet you my mom in Minnesota is listening. She does every day. Roger is likely somewhere in the house, too. Sister Sherry, left coast, Portland, Oregon. All of you from near or far away need to know about the newly named Studio B. That's where we're sitting right now. And the YouTube page called Wolf Boom Studio B. If you search for that and subscribe for updates, every time we put up a video update, you'll get a little notification on your computer or your cell, and then you can go and see what you're hearing. Can't promise you'll like it, especially when my mug is in the middle of the camera. but that is something that's a free service. We will plan to continue to grow that effort, and also not only radio shows that will have the visible means on that YouTube page. Sometimes we might even do video-only coverage. For instance, if there's a news item or a topic or maybe a community concern, we might get some movers and shakers pulled together within this Studio B location and have them looking at you and speaking with and at you to help you know what you need to know. That's just one of the many things that we have in store and planned for you on WMUN and the rest of this TV-type channel called Studio B, which, by the way, in case you're curious, the B is an homage to Mr. Burton. Don Burton is the original owner of our original station in the radio group. That's WLBC AM only when he owned it at first, and WLBC TV, which is now WIPB Channel 49. Mr. Burton sold the frequency to the Ball State School, and at that point it became a bigger deal for students and more to learn and grow in a different way. So that's just kind of a quick little history of the naming of this particular room. We're going to continue in just a moment. Guest in studio, and you'll hear all about what she has to share in just a moment here on WMUN.
Business and economic development drives the 765. That's why WMUN News Radio created the website and the weekly radio show called 765businessjournal.com, Mondays from 9 to 9:30 a.m. Hosted by longtime Muncie resident and former broadcaster Lefay Pagese. Sponsored by IU Health, Town of Yorktown, MIPS, Ivy Tech Community College Muncie, Minnetrista, YMCA of Muncie. If you have tips or questions about business and economic development, email WMUN@woofboom.com. That's WMUN@woofboom.com. You can also call and leave a voice message at 289-6397.
Start your day with Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal. The instant oatmeal ready to help you tackle whatever your day brings, like wrangling your toddler into their car seat. That was fun. Coaching your 6th graders soccer team. Go girls! And carrying all the groceries in one trip. Whew. Try Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal, granola, and bars. Great taste and a good source of protein. Quaker, bring out the good.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox, and do you ever feel a little bit awkward seeing your neighbor, like you don't know what to say? Now, Rocket and Redfin found most of us want stronger connections in our neighborhoods, but only a third of us actually know who lives next door. But here's the good news. Connection doesn't need a big gesture. It just needs a first one. So today, start small. A wave, a quick hello. That's how neighbors turn into people you actually know. Find your newest neighbors at redfin.com.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Live, weekdays from 8 to 9 a.m. with replays later. This is the Daily Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell.
As we emanate from Studio B For WMUN's Delaware County Today on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio, we bring you now to a wider shot of the studio. You can see in focus my next guest, and I would like for you to introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners, if you don't mind, right now.
Thanks, Steve. I'm Sarah Abel. I'm the administrator at Albany Health and Rehab. Soon to be changing name to Albany Senior Living with the expansion of the assisted living. Been there about 8-9 months and really love it. Getting to work on this construction project, and I'm sure you guys will get to love it as well.
Yeah, I'm very glad to hear all about it. We like to talk about things that are upgrades and updates in our community, the good news of Muncie and Delaware County. And in your case, I didn't know about the name change part, so that's breaking news to me. Very good. Thank you very much. For those that have never been, give our listeners kind of a tour of what it's like on the campus of your building, and then we'll get to the construction part in just a second.
Yeah, so right now what we have is we have the rehab to home, we have long-term care, and we have a memory unit as well. What we're adding is we are adding more rehab to home rooms as well with the assisted living, and those are all going to be private suites with a bathroom, shower, all of that in each room. And then we'll be adding assisted living rooms as well. And those are all large, gorgeous rooms, larger than the first apartment rooms.
Folks, if you've never been to Albany, Indiana, it is a quaint little town that isn't far from anything. So it's close to family and friends that would want to come and visit maybe, and make sure that they stay connected to their loved one that needs the services at your place. I have to get used to the name again. I'm still calling it Albany Health and Rehabilitation Center. When does the name change officially occur?
It's in the process now. We don't have a set date of when that'll officially occur. Our new sign that's kind of covering our old sign says Albany Senior Living. Okay. So we're in the progress.
So it's just to make sure I'm saying it right. I'm okay saying it either way for now today.
Yes.
Whew. All right, good.
Yes. Continue to say it either way. My shirt still says it the old way, so I get it.
Okay, very good, very good. Sarah is the administrator at Albany Health and Rehab. I'll abbreviate now, as we are talking about a hard hat tour that is coming up to show off the progress, I assume, of what you've been doing. Let's talk about the wheres and whens for that, and if there's any sort of registration needed or whatever.
Yeah, so it is on March 5th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Albany Health and Rehab or Albany Senior Living.
Got it, both ways.
The address is 910 West Walnut Drive, Albany, Indiana. There is no RSVP needed. It is open for community members, people interested, business owners, doctors, anyone in the community. We're really excited to open it up. It's a small little town. We would love people from all around to come. It's really cool. You get that small town feel, which is very important, and I love there.
This is Sarah, the administrator, talking to us on WMUN's Delaware County Today. They're a sponsor of WMUN and Wolf Boom Radio. We're very proud and thankful for that as well. Talk about the first-time visitor, if you will. And what I'm getting at here is when somebody has to make that decision with a loved one to move into a great facility like yours, sometimes that can be difficult. It can be difficult for the family. It can be difficult for the individual. It can also be really easy and simple too. But what's it like, and how is that process for when you, as the administrator or one of your other staff, meets first time with the family as they consider that journey together?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the nice thing right now is our opening will be end of May, beginning of June. That gives you plenty of time to kind of think through the options. How will that function? How will that move occur? We're taking deposits currently, so if you know you want a room, come see us. We'll take a deposit so you can get that first choice room that you want. We have a couple deluxe rooms, and they're going to go fast. Whole wall is just filled with beautiful windows. But all of these rooms are really gorgeous. The first floor has patios. But yeah, well, that's kind of what we're looking at. You've got plenty of time to think it through, get those loved ones in a room with you, and kind of have those conversations, because it's a good move. It's difficult.
I got it. Any change is tricky for anybody, so that's just normal human nature. Sarah Abel, the administrator of the soon-to-be newly named Albany Health and Rehabilitation Center. We'll get used to that new name when you tell us to switch gears completely. If anybody wanted to find out more about your place that haven't been able to visit yet, or maybe they can't make it to this hard hat tour or whatever, what's the best way to reach out, or perhaps go to the interwebs and seek out information from your place?
Yeah, so you can always visit our website. The other options you have is calling our office phone. It is 765-789-4423. Or you can call Rebecca, our admissions director. Her phone number is 765-717-7462. We would love to talk with you, get more information. I love just chatting with people in general. So feel free to call that office number at any time and ask for Sarah. I love talking with people about the process of moving into an assisted living or helping people rehab to home or even long-term care. So if you need help in that process, feel free to give us a call at any time and chat. And that's where we're at.
All right, excellent. Very well done. Thanks for doing this morning with us on the radio and the video. And best of luck to you as your new career is months old now at this place. And you obviously seem very, very happy and pleased with who you get to work with, for, and around. Please keep up that smiling face, too. That is good for people to see.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
Absolutely. Glad to do it. Steve Lindell live on Delaware County Today with more coming through the hour every day. Just a moment on WMUN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Alex Brown. The Chicago Bears confirmed to IBJ on Monday that the team has no plans to move its headquarters, practice facility, and training center should it strike a deal with Indiana officials to play its games just across the state line in Hammond. Questions about the team's headquarters in suburban Chicago arose following a Thursday press conference during which Hammond Mayor Tom McDermott said the Bears are considering moving all of its operations to Indiana. Next month, auction house Christie's will put up more than 300 music and pop culture items comprising the Jim Irsay collection up for auction. Natalie Furneaux with Christie's said it's impossible to overstate how important the collection is.
Jim kind of stands apart in terms of the breadth of his collection, the passion for his collection. He wasn't just buying at auction, he was buying directly from athletes, he was buying directly from musicians.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. America is listening to Fox News Radio.
Updates hourly on the Talk of Muncie, the new WMUN.
1, 2, 3, 4. In 1964, the Beatles invaded America. And now you have a chance to see the #1 Beatles tribute band in the world. 1964.
Coming Saturday, May 30th to the Paramount Theater in Anderson. Tickets are on sale now at andersonparamount.org. 1964 at the Paramount Theater in Anderson on Saturday, May 30th. Get tickets at andersonparamount.org.
Listen to Delaware County Today on Alexa. Just enable the skill, then say, Alexa, play WMUN. Now back to Steve Lindell.
Here on WMUN from our Studio B location, which is on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio Group, south side of Muncie, Indiana, USA. We are actually not far from or in the midst of the South Central Neighborhood Association. We will talk to you about something we saw on the social media this morning. In fact, just a little while ago. They're having a neighborhood meeting today, the 24th. Yep, I'm correct there. 6 p.m. The agenda they have shared on Facebook. They'll vote for officers and board members. The guest speaker will be Richard Rawlings, the building commissioner for code enforcement. They'll take membership dues, $10 for single, $15 for household. And it looks like they'll have a drawing for South Central merch. Hello. This is the Muncie South Central Neighborhood Association. Saw that on their Facebook page from earlier this morning. All right, so, don't get mad at the messenger here. It is, as you probably know, tax time this time of year. Maybe you're going to a preparer to help you with yours. Maybe you're doing it yourself on the interwebs, or maybe you just don't know what you're doing. That's all possible. What I want to talk to you about is another one of our, series of tax tips for you on WMUN.
Should you itemize or stick to a standard deduction this year? I'm Brian Brenberg, co-host of The Big Money Show with your Fox Business tax tip. To determine which deduction is best for you, first check if eligible expenses exceed the standard deduction amount. Standard deductions have gone up $350 for single filers this year, and that number doubles for married couples, says tax attorney Rebecca Walzer.
This year for single, it's $16,100. For married filing jointly, it's $32,200.
Most filers use the standard deduction. But Walzer says in some circumstances, itemizing does benefit a taxpayer.
You really need to look at what the standard deduction provides you. Look at Schedule A, and if it's higher, or go to the standard and fill out the itemized deduction.
Brian Brenberg, Fox News.
On WMUN's Delaware County Today, here on WMUN 92.5 FM, 1340 AM. Home of Tony Katz Today. That will air from noon to 3 today and every day. Talking about things leading up to the State of the Union address tonight. Tony Katz announced yesterday that he has the good fortune of actually attending that event tonight. And the following morning, Wednesday, I think he said, if I heard correctly, will be broadcasting from D.C. with maybe some post-game commentary, etc. We'll see what happens when we hear him on the WMUN today, noon to 3. All right. We always like to watch out for your health. There is a fear of many.
This is House Call for Health. President Trump delivers the first official State of the Union address of his second term tonight. And while public speaking seems to come easily to him, it can be scary for a lot of people. The Mayo Clinic says speaking in public is a common form of anxiety, and it can range from extreme panic and fear to just being a little nervous. They have a few suggestions on how to overcome those fears. First, know your topic. The more you understand what you're talking about, the less likely you'll be to make a mistake. Next, get organized. Plan out the information you want to present ahead of time, including any props or visual aids, because the more organized you are, the less nervous you'll be. Then there's practice, practice, practice. Do it in front of people you're comfortable with and ask for some feedback. They also recommend breathing deeply and focusing on the material, not the audience. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
WMUN 92.5 FM, 1340 AM. The Alexa command is play WMUN. Many are listening in that fashion right now. It's 8:44, give or take. Got a note here from a listener this morning, and I'll read this verbatim. I am a parent rights advocate in Indianapolis, following the legislation closely. A bill about property tax sharing between charter and traditional schools. This is House Bill 1423, if you're tracking that yourself. The listener says the foundation of the bill is that all charter schools in Indianapolis public school boundaries will be required to provide transportation going forward. There is an Amendment 10 that is cited by this listener that was presented last night, And it says here that may include Delaware County because there is a charter school in the area and does not provide transportation to its students, but receives property tax dollars to do so. We continue with more coverage of that. We're looking into the story, and we sought a comment from Indiana Senator Scott Alexander, who is a frequent guest on this program as well. And we're hearing that he has a comment for us that we will share either later today or first thing tomorrow morning on our news, because we know that you want and need to know. That, by the way, House Bill 1423 is not done yet. In fact, we're finding out a list of a bunch of bills, which is typical, that either did not move past committee or perhaps they went to a vote but failed in that regard. We're tracking those as best we can. This week is the final week of the legislative session in the great state of Indiana, as we have shared and will continue to cover here on WMUN, the news part of News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. From Studio B here on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio Group, 6 formats, 1 mission. We use our voice to connect and build our community. And we do that in a bunch of different ways, one of which is, of course, radio, the original social media. The other way is the newfangled way. You have come to expect in many times a video sort of component to so many things in our world today. That's why Jay Chapman and our company invested in this particular multi-purpose studio, and we are still in our infancy of building it up and building it out. We look forward to you giving us ideas for how to use this space. You can email those to WMUN@wolfboom.com, WMUN, the call letters of the station, @wolf like the dog, boom like the firecracker, .com like the interwebs, WMUN@wolfboom.com. Next item that we like to keep track of is technology, and there could be some frightening times because of tech.
Fox on Tech.
With AI deepfakes, charming chatbots, and addictive algorithms,
it's incredibly hard to be a kid right now,
says Senator Ted Cruz at a Commerce Committee hearing centered around the harms of excessive screen time. Neuroscientist Dr. Jared Horvath told lawmakers the issue isn't just doom scrolling at home.
Gen Z is the first generation in modern history to underperform us on basically every cognitive measure we have.
So why is that? Well, Horvath says it could be traced to the kinds of tools we've started to use in schools, arguing that the importance of early digital literacy via classroom screen time may have been oversold and should be reassessed. According to Harvard's Box Center, studies have repeatedly shown that student learning and success decrease when smartphones, tablets, and laptops are permitted in class. The bipartisan group of U.S. lawmakers pushed to set a minimum age of 13 to use social media. Civil liberties groups argue that that would infringe on a minor's right to free expression. With Fox on Tech, I'm Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
On WMUN, emanating from Studio B here on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio, this is our daily talk show on WMUN called Delaware County Today. Thank you for listening. The weather is looking slightly better. We're trying to be positive about that. The 60s and 70s or near that from last week. Was it last week? Teased us quite a lot, but we're going to get there again. We'll be complaining about it being too hot and humid just soon enough. You know, you know how that works. On WMUN, this is the first program of our talk block every day from 8 to 9 a.m. Mondays, we also add in all kinds of people with Dr. Joe Mashevitz. Chris Walker was the guest from Muncie Central High School yesterday. You can replay that on our website, WMUNmuncie.com. You can sign up to follow for updates when new content flies out to that website. You'll get a notification on your phone, and we find that to be very helpful. I have a note here from one of our frequent listeners. His name is Chef Jason Reynolds. He oftentimes will comment on the food pictures that I post from our backyard. My beautiful wife, Nancy, and I like cooking out when the weather's nice enough. I'll cook when it's rotten out, too. Ask my mom. Ooh, I've got a great turkey story from a Christmas those many years ago. Anyway, Chef Jason Reynolds says, you ready for this one? 10 months until Christmas Eve. He's a fan. So am I. Steve Lindell here with you on WMUN's Delaware County Today. Ball State men's basketball tonight, presented by Pridemark Construction, and Ball State women's basketball tomorrow. All of that on the radio, the FM, the AM, and the free streams. By the way, you can listen to these many games, the Ball State and the high school games that we do, from worldwide positions. Absolutely no charge for that. Sometimes it's behind a paywall with some other entities, not with us, not thanks to our sponsors, happening that way from WMUN and Wolf Boom Radio Group. Next item for this morning, Tanya J. Powers has the story of radio history in Memphis.
Celebrating Black History Month.
For almost 80 years, WDIA has been on the air in Memphis, Tennessee. Its historical mark, the first station programmed entirely for Black Americans. Mark Stansbury plays gospel on WDIA and has worked there for 66 years. In a local public TV documentary, he said prior to the station being the informer of a Black fan base,
really, we were not. And WDIA was the voice of the community.
Names such as Ford Nelson, Bobby O.J., and Rufus Thomas ruled the airwaves. Bev Johnson is still there as a talk show host, where she's been for more than 4 decades. She said the Black community trusted WDIA because, good or bad,
they could believe in the personalities and what they said. They gave them the truth.
WDIA is still going strong on the iHeartRadio network and remains the most listened to AM station in West Tennessee. Here's to many more decades for the heart and soul of Memphis. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Thank you, Tanya. For those watching our video feed, you actually were able to see the website of some of those presenters that they have on that radio station, including the last one that was mentioned there that has been there for decades. That's pretty cool. We're able to show you that with our video components here at WMUN's Delaware County Today from Studio B. Thanks very much to our Sean Mattingly, who works so hard behind the scenes and on the front lines. Justin Peckinpah, who works just as hard in those same behind the scenes and front lines. He's actually in the Axia Command Center with Mr. Jacoby right now doing yeoman's work, learning even more of the craft, and we appreciate all of the efforts happening all of the time within our radio midst. We can't possibly mention every single name of every single person that we have, but I can tell you in no uncertain terms that we are very blessed at our radio station and our company here, Indiana-owned company. Jay Chapman and the rest have come together to build something which, we're trying to matter even more every single day. Sometimes it's to entertain, sometimes it's to inform, sometimes it's to explain or help or guide or whatever. But rest assured that our efforting will continue to build, and with your suggestions and certainly with your support, that matters a lot, and please continue doing so. And tell a friend about this radio station and this radio group as well. All right, from the 2021 archives to the Great Lakes we go.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
An amazing dog that found lost wedding rings at the beach makes today's Dean's List. Elsa Green says she was taking off her rings at Eagle Beach on Lake Superior in Michigan to put on sunscreen. She put them in her hat. Forgetting that they were in there, she was startled by a large bug crawling on the hat. She tossed it in the air and then remembered her rings were inside. Unable to find them, she contacted police to see if they could help her search. They said maybe their trained Dutch Shepherd Doggo might help. According to Doggo's handler, Sergeant Brad Pelly, canines trained in article search can detect pretty much anything that still has a human scent on it. But looking for a lost wedding ring would be a first. It didn't take him very long to find the engagement ring and then the second wedding band close by. Elsa and her son gave Doggo a huge hug, and they offered Sergeant Pelly a reward. He wouldn't take it. Doggo, doggone it, you made the Doggy Dean's List. Janice Dean, Fox News.
All right, and Janice Dean, who has severe multiple sclerosis, she has suffered from that ailment for a long time. She went on a bit of a sabbatical at the end of last year. We have not heard anything new, but we know that she will be coming back to work as quickly and as strongly as she can, and we certainly wish for her and her family and friends the best, and we love her stuff that we get to share. I'm Steve Lindell for Jackson Jacoby producing and Justin Peckinpah also in the Axia Command Center. Back again tomorrow and every day 8 to 9 a.m. on Delaware County Today from WMUN.
You're still grooving, still connecting.